Sorry, fellas. I'm trying to look up the actual like review for the game I want to talk about for Pat's topic, and I can't fucking find it for some reason.
Jim, also for you, bud. Well, I think it was Jim. It could have been all three of us, but there's definitely a good amount of like knocking around noise in the background on the podcast. So I'm just trying to be like a little bit more careful about like not bumping into stuff and just kind of, background noise.
Let me see.
Yeah, so let's all just be like a wee bit careful of that.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I did not catch that. Now, were you guys able to like hear like me typing and stuff like that? Is that one of the background noises you're talking about?
Type right now. Let's see.
Are you hearing that?
No, I am not.
No, not really.
I think
that's
my
good.
typing comes through because of how I'm recording.
Okay.
Like, I don't know if you can hear this right now.
Yeah, I can hear that.
Okay, cool. I'll just use a separate mouse, so I won't have to do that.
I'll be right back. I got to go blow my nose real quick.
Okay. You enjoy the weather yesterday, James?
I mean, I was at work all fucking day.
Yeah, same.
So, no.
Unfortunate.
Were you outdoors?
I closed yesterday, so yeah, I was out a little bit.
Nice.
Very
yeah,
nice
I know.
day.
On Thursday, I was able to like get outside a little bit and like shoot the basketball around and stuff by myself. So that was fun.
Nice.
I want to hope. I'm really hoping because like I've not been very like I haven't gotten very much exercise the past year.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you.
I have put on like 15 pounds.
I am bigger as well before this fucking all started.
So I'm so unmotivated to like work out like a normal person where like I just can like lift weights and I can just do that type of or go run or something like that. I need to actually be like playing a game. So like I used to be good about like I would go play basketball once a week, and then Kyla and I would go play volleyball once a week, and like that was like how I got my exercise.
Okay, yeah.
And kept my slim figure.
Have you been exercising, Jimmy?
What?
Have you been exercising? Is that what I'm hearing?
Just the opposite, actually. We were talking about how I've put on like 15 pounds since the pandemic started.
Oh, yeah.
If there was ever a time it was acceptable to put on weight, it's been this year.
Yeah. Yeah, I've put on 12 pounds since I got married.
That's a happy marriage right there.
Yeah, dude. Fucking Michaela's just been making nothing but like homemade breads and like and pasta and meats and things, and like we've got this awesome little butcher near my place. Like I found this stuff. I just picked up 2 of them today. There's this stuff called burnt ends dip.
Oh my god, that sounds incredible.
Oh my god, dude! You guys wait, and your taste buds are retarded, P-Bird. But Jimmy, you
go fuck yourself, dude. Oh Jesus,
Jimmy, you will love this dip.
It sounds incredible. Burnt end dip. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's very good. Yeah, and like with the amount of like cheese and beer and cured meats that I have very little time left.
On this earth.
God damn.
Holy crap.
Fucking twice as bright, half as long. Am I right, dude?
There you go. I've also picked up an orange cream soda habit, so that's also
Ew.
terrible.
Okay.
Ew, that's terrible sounding.
I can
So,
respect that.
Yeah, dude, it's
ugh.
delicious.
I'm not a cream soda guy. I quite dislike the cream soda.
But it's
Um,
orange.
I mean, orange soda is okay, but cream soda is disgusting.
Tastes like a dreamsicle.
Yeah, have a fucking dreamsicle, you punk.
Oh man,
Why you cutting out the middleman?
because dreamsicles are too phallic.
All right, fair point. You'd rather drink your penises.
Yeah, dude, I want my penises to.
Scared you'll like it too much, Tiernan.
Oh no.
This has gotten out of hand.
This has escalated quickly.
Whew.
Oh.
Okay, yeah.
Hold on. A topic idea just sprang to my mind.
Go for it.
If you were in the Lord of the Rings universe, what race would you be and what occupation would you have?
Oh,
Interesting. Interesting.
I feel like I'd be some sort of a wood elf.
Hmm.
I would
Is
be
that
a
speaking
hobbit.
too highly of myself?
I'd be a hobbit, and I would be a vagrant.
I don't know what I would do.
You'd be a favorite. I'd be the town drone.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So, you'd be an unemployed hobbit, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, dude, I'd be a gutter hobbit.
You'd be the Smeagol of the town.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I don't know what my occupation would be. I mean, the problem with choosing an elf, like they're fucking immortal for for the most part, except when their time comes to an end or whatever. So you could do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
You got time. You got nothing but time.
There was time now.
Oh yes, yes. I've been watching a lot of Twilight Zone. I love the Twilight Zone.
It's good
Yeah.
shit. I'm watching
I hear the
Alfred Hitchcock Presents.
Oh, very cool. No shit. Yeah, Alfred Hitchcock is like. You guys have a favorite? Well, maybe we'll do that as a topic later. We'll do Alfred Hitchcock. I grew up loving and it would be really tough for me to even pick what's my favorite Alfred Hitchcock movie or just Alfred or Hitchcock joint, yo.
We could definitely talk about it. I don't have a ton to say on the time. I've only probably seen. I mean, I know of Psycho. Obviously, that's probably his most famous. But I think the one that I would probably like the most, or the one that I'm the most familiar with, at least, is Rear Window.
Oh, sure.
Is that the one where the guy's got like a broken leg?
Yeah, got
Yeah.
Grace Kelly in there. Yeah.
Yeah. I saw that
that's
one
a
like
good one.
fairly recently. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, he's got so many, man. Fucking, I love The Birds. I love North by Northwest. There's so fucking many. Hitchcock was the best, dude, and I love how he would do little cameos and stuff, and I don't know,
Yeah, he kind of started that.
Yeah, fucking gangster as shit, Hitchcock.
Great man. Can confirm.
Great man, and he's shaped a lot like Winston Churchill, which makes him even better.
He's got
Facts.
that pear going on.
Yeah, he's fat.
He's a large man. Big center of gravity.
Yeah.
Big presence. Okay. Are we feeling so are we still just gonna stick with the two topics for now?
Yeah.
Cool. Are we feeling ready?
I'm feeling ready.
I think so. Let me see if I'm recording. All right. We are good to go.
Should have been recording this whole time.
I have been.
Good.
Yes, keep that. Keep all of that.
Excellent.
Oh my goodness. All right. Hold up. I just had to cough and clear my throat.
Yeah.
Anybody have to do that too?
Yeah, I'm trying.
Okay, I'll give you a second.
No, I'm good. You can go. I'm
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Cantina Radio. My name is James St. Pierre, and as always, I'm joined by two of my best buddies in the world. We got Patrick Bird.
Hello.
Hello, and we got Tiernan McDonald.
good evening.
Good afternoon, Tiernan. Get it right.
Good whatever.
Yeah, that's true. Good whenever. So, how you guys doing this? It's been a week since we've talked. How are you?
Good. I'm all right. The
Yeah.
weather was so nice yesterday. I hate today in comparison.
Oh man, that's kind of a bummer. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it was wicked nice out. Although, I mean, it's not too bad today. It's kind of overcast and blustery. It's a little bit colder. I'm getting sick of the nip in the air, but it's not too bad today. It's supposed to fucking snow again tomorrow, which I'm really not looking forward to.
Yeah, I think it's for context for those listening. We live in the suburbs of Chicago, so we're just getting out of our pretty crazy winter spell here. But yeah, the weather's been kind of warming up. We've had a couple of near 70 days the past week or so.
Yeah,
But
crazy.
yeah.
We have crazy weather around here, I feel like, especially
Yeah,
lately.
we do.
Yeah, it's gonna feel so good to like, and I despise the sun, but like I can't wait, man. Like, especially now that like I can't wait to have you guys over, man. Like, I don't have a grill yet, but like, Jesus Christ, how good is it gonna be to like hang out in the sun and drink beer and grill and chill out with each other? You know, the sun is devastating to the coronavirus. So like, as long as you chill out in the sun, man, you can throw the ball around for your dog, and you can do whatever the fuck you want to do as long as there's sunshine. And I'm a doctor.
This is not legitimate medical advice that you should follow.
All right, moving on from that horrendous statement. I'm going to just talk about something that came into my head not too long ago. Kind of a little surprise topic here. So I recently, and I'm sure this happens to everybody, but I wanted to get your opinions on it. When's the last time, or do you guys have a cure for it, when you had a song stuck in your head that you just cannot get out of your brain? How do you guys feel about that?
Go ahead, P-Bird.
I don't have a good way of getting rid of it, because the way I get rid of it is playing another song that I like better, but then I just have another song stuck in my head.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's not a bad way to go.
Wait. What's the song?
Oh, I don't have a song in mind or anything. I just have had. Yeah, I'm just curious. It came to my brain. I wanted to see how you guys react to getting a good old tune in your head.
Well, ever since the early 90s, literally every single day, I have Prince Ali Fabulous He stuck in my head every day. I wake up with it. I find myself whistling it all the time. It's gotten in the way of my love life, my professional life. It's really awful. So for me, there is no way to get rid of it. I pray, and there is no remedy. So what is bizarre though, right, is I'll wake up more often than not when I've got a song stuck in my head. It's literally like right when I wake up, and seemingly it's also seemingly out of nowhere. Like it'll be a song that I haven't heard in a really long time, or like maybe if I've fallen asleep with the TV on, somehow it's entering my dreams or something through my television. I don't know what it is, but yeah, I get songs stuck in my head all the time. Normally they just kind of go away. I have very few brain cells left. My mind is in decay. So luckily, other than Prince Ali, when I've got a song stuck in my head, a lot of the times it just kind of like dissipates.
All right.
It's
Very
lost in the
fair.
fog.
Yeah, I guess
Brain fog.
it just becomes Prince Ali.
Yeah. I would love it if like a Led Zeppelin song led into a Prince Ali.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I know for me, it a lot of times. So where I work, there's music playing throughout the day, and it's kind of on a loop, but it's a pretty long loop. So it's you don't hear the same music every like 15 minutes or anything like that. It's probably more like every hour or so. And I find myself on like my drive home having one of the songs throughout the day just like rattle around in my brain, and I try to get it out of my head, especially because what I like to do is listen to audiobooks as I drive. So it's hard to pay attention when you got this fucking song playing in your head while somebody's reading to you basically. Um, but that's kind of how it happens to me usually. One of the songs I hear probably towards the end of the day always will get stuck in there for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah,
At
Tiernan,
work.
I've never heard of people waking up with songs in their head.
Oh yeah,
I
dude.
feel like
It's
I've
like,
done that.
yeah, it happens to me often. So yeah, I don't know what that's I don't know about. Although at my place of work, we also have we have a series of different radio stations we play, family friendly, all of them, unfortunately. And but I did recently oh sorry, my phone's going off. I did recently discover a song from the Bee Gees called Alone, and I really recommend it. So if you
Okay.
guys have,
I'll write that
like
down.
a little notepad next to you or something, definitely write down Bee Gees Alone because that song slaps.
The Bee
Noted.
Gees slaps. Let's be honest.
Noted.
Oh, oh dear.
Very nice. All right, cool. Well, that was my little surprise topic for y'all. Moving on to like real topics for today, or actual ones that we've thought about. Pat, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Go ahead.
So my topic was most brutal video game reviews you've ever seen. So I was looking through, just scrolling through Twitter the other day, and I saw this headline, and it had the word soulless in it. So of course I had to read all of it. So it's this subheader for Harvest Moon One World, and the subheader is an interesting twist on farming sims, but a bland, soulless world kills all potential. And it's just fucking leading with that subheader is so ruthless. And the review just proceeds to just dismantle this game at every aspect, which, to be fair, it seems like it's not a very good game. I've never played a Harvest Moon game before, though, but there are some pretty good farming sims out there. Some stiff
You
competition.
you've never played a Harvest Moon game?
No.
It's kind of interesting. Well, I guess it's not interesting because you're not an 11-year-old Japanese girl.
Fair
I
enough.
think I think
No.
that's who plays those games. I think the Harvest Moon is mainly Japanese teenage women.
Can confirm the audience for this game.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a hilarious, really harsh type. Is that a new Harvest Moon game?
Had to have been. I think this review was done on the 12th of this month.
God, I wonder how many of those there are. When did Harvest Moon even? I mean, I remember kind of vaguely trying to play a Harvest Moon game on PlayStation 1 with my buddy way back in the day. Did Harvest Moon start on PlayStation 1? Probably.
I can Google it real quick. Let me
Maybe?
figure
I
this
feel
out.
like it has been in the background of my knowledge for like since the 90s.
There is of those farming type games, I like, I mean, and I would put not necessarily that you're farming or whatever, but I would put even like Animal Crossing and that kind of thing in that like
Yeah,
weird little genre
I'd
where
say that's yeah.
yeah. I have never the only one that I've tried to get into, and I haven't been able to get into it, but I'm gonna keep trying is oh God,
Stardew
what's that one
Valley.
that there you go. Yes.
Hot.
Yeah, there's something compelling about that one, I feel like.
Yeah, I made $1 million in Stardew Valley. That's the last trophy I got.
Oh,
Wow.
wow, so you really played the shit out of it then, huh?
Did you
Yeah.
platinum it?
No, there's a trophy for getting $10 million.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in like a cycle where essentially I'm just accruing vast sums of money at this point, but yeah, I just need to grind out that 10 million.
All right.
So you like that one, huh?
Yeah, yeah, I think that's a really good one.
What did you play it on?
I played it on PS4, I think. I also made the mistake of buying it on the computer because it updates faster on the computer, but
Okay.
I like playing it with a controller more on the PS4.
I think I have it on Switch, and there's just something it's really pretty, and that game was made by, like, one dude, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Amazing. Some of those fucking games that are made by one guy, man, and that guy's like a gazillionaire now. He's like a Forrest Gump.
Yeah, the outstanding talent.
Yeah, man, very cool. Yeah, now I've been struggling to find things to play. I mean, there's a handful of things. Final Fantasy VII is free on PlayStation Plus right now, and I started that. That actually seems pretty awesome.
Nice.
Um, I got that Hades game on Switch, but like there's something about Stardew that it sounds really good right now. I think it's right up my I think I'm gonna go play that. I'm gonna call you later and get all your secrets.
Okay, I will send you pictures of my farm.
Sweet.
To answer the question earlier about our Harvest Moon, it's originally a Super Nintendo game.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
released in Japan on August 9th, 1996, and came to North America about a year later in June of 1997.
Wowie wow wow. How many
Okay.
if you have it pulled up, how many installments are there?
I don't have that pulled
Never
up.
mind.
Let me find out for you, buddy.
Well, um I'll just answer the topics question then. It's funny. I mean, I don't read much games media anymore. Back in the day, I was, always reading reviews and looking for reviews. Nowadays, the way that I kind of do it is I hear about a game and I'll watch like maybe 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes of gameplay. And then if it appeals to me, I'll consider buying it. And because I don't really want anyone else's opinion of the game, because that's all reviews are. They're just, opinions. And I kind of want to come to my own conclusions. But I do remember back in the day when I was um, looking for reviews and that kind of thing all the time. I'm just going to go with one or two that I was like that I just disagreed with. And my favorite person in games media is good old Colin Moriarty, but he reviewed for the 3DS Castlevania Lords of Shadow Mirror of Fate, which I
Yeah,
actually really enjoyed.
Okay.
I liked it too.
Yeah, and he gave it a 4.7. Now Colin's like an old school, super serious, like even more serious than I am, and I love Castlevania. They're my favorite games, but he's even crazier about them. He gave that game a 4.7, and so one of the taglines I believe for Simon's Quest in the game when it became night, it would say, "What a horrible night to have a curse." And his like title for the review was, "What a horrible night to play this game."
Oh my
And
god.
it was
Damn.
and it was super, and it was, it was developed by Mercury Steam, the same people that did I think they're a Spanish developer. It was the same people that did the other Lords of Shadows games, which and the first one I thought was really pretty good. The second one was pretty lackluster. It
The
was
first
published
one's
by
very
Konami.
good.
Yeah, and we know Konami is evil, but yeah, man, I mean, like, I just kind of disagreed with this review. There were aspects of it where he was kind of right, where it was kind of it wanted to have its cake and eat it too, where it wanted to be like a mix between the Lords of Shadows kind of newer Castlevania games and Symphony of the Night, and all the games that were kind of the offspring from Symphony of the Night. And it did kind of have like a little bit of an identity crisis thing going on, but all in all, I thought it kind of sewed those things together relatively well. It wasn't the prettiest game or anything like that. I think he was talking about it in the review of it being kind of like muddy and dark and uninteresting. And I remember kind of the locations being like, yeah, I mean, this is what I would expect out of a 3DS for this kind of game. I don't expect a whole lot more in terms of super details in the background and that kind of thing. But I don't know. I found it a little bit challenging and kind of fun, and a nice mix of the Castlevania games that we've come to kind of know and love. And I thought it deserved more than a 4.7. Now it's no 8 or 9 or anything like that, but I would have given it like a 7, something like that. I really enjoyed it. And shit, you guys, or at least did you ever play that game, P Bird?
I did not know.
I know that a few of us that had 3DSs and played it at the time, we all kind of liked it.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's gonna be my pick.
cool.
Okay.
Cool. So for me, as I was doing, because nothing immediately sprang to mind, so I did kind of have to do a little bit of research for this one, and I approached it in two different ways. Um, One way was just kind of looking up like what's the worst reviewed video game ever? You know what I mean? Like what can I find as far as that goes? And this is again, obviously everything's kind of personal opinion based or whatever. But the one that I found I thought was kind of funny because they've got a mix between like user score and then like average critical scores. And this game, the average critical score and the user score are the same. They both gave it an 11 out of 100.
Damn.
Um, yeah, the game is Family Party 30 Great Games Obstacle Arcade.
Okay.
This is for the Wii U, so it's not terribly old. It's a couple, it's what, one generation Nintendo system back, maybe two arguably if you include the Switch Lite or the Switch Pro that they're making or whatever. But yeah, so critically that's kind of the worst reviewed game that I've been able to quickly find with just like a little bit of research. The other way I approached it was kind of just the reception to the game, and there's two that spring to mind for me where I kind of disagree with it. I think it was harsh. The one of them is Batman Arkham Origins. I think that game was actually
Yeah,
quite good.
yeah,
I liked it a lot, and it I don't know, people just tended to kind of really dislike that game for
Yeah,
whatever
they
reason.
uh they
Maybe
tend to look down on that one.
yeah,
mhm,
and I'm thinking because it's maybe more of the same thing or something like that. But Arkham Origins is really good. Like if you go back and play it now, like it's fun. It's just as good as the other ones as far as gameplay is concerned. I struggle to remember the story a little bit, but I thought it was a good game. And then the other one, and this isn't quite so much critical reviews as far as more public general like consumption and just feedback, I guess. And Tiernan, I know you'll super back me up on this one. I don't know, Peter. I don't know if you've played this one. You probably have. L.A. Noir was
yeah,
phenomenal
Okay.
and very very good. But people do not. I think people just have the wrong expectation when they're going into that game, and people really didn't like it, and I'm sad because it seems to have not generated. I feel like they would have done a sequel by now if it had sold better, and I love it. That's a fantastic game.
Yeah, I think both of those kind of suffer from weird uh expectation things, you know.
Hmm.
So for LA Noir, people thought that, oh, it's a Rockstar game, so it must be GTA
Right.
or Bully or something, and it
Yeah.
was never meant to be, but that's what people expected. And then on the flip side with Batman, I think people were kind of being jerks about it because because it wasn't Rocksteady.
Right.
So they knew they were just going to shit on it almost regardless, you know, unless it was above and beyond, which it wasn't really, you know. I mean, it wasn't
No.
quite as good as Asylum or City. There were little things about it. I did feel like some of the fighting mechanic was just a wee bit off. There was something just strangely off about it. Gotham, although it was kind of cool and it had this, because that was the one that took place during like Christmas in Gotham, right? It had a
I do remember that. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
yeah, it
it
almost
did. Because
it had like a
Black Mask, I
nightmare.
think, is just fucking. Is trying to like. Was. Doesn't matter. Doesn't fucking matter. Keep going.
That that was the cool part about it. It almost had this Nightmare Before Christmas thing going on, you know, where Gotham is inherently kind of Halloweeny and dark and uh dire, and then you just kind of throw a bunch of weird Christmas shit at it, and it just gives it this weird, really kind of neat feel. I think there was all different, and yeah, Black Mask is a cool villain. There's a lot to like about that game, and people were their expectations were already in the gutter because it wasn't Rocksteady doing it. I think it was Montreal or
Yeah, I think it was
whoever.
WB Montreal. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I agree with. Do you guys remember the how about the reviews for Kingdoms of Amalur? Remember how bad the
Oh
reviews were for that?
yes, that's a. Oh my God, I totally forgot about that one. That's a really good one to throw in this same category because that was a good game.
Yeah, that game was great.
Yeah, that game
I
suffered
remember.
from. Yeah, I think that game suffered because people thought it was just going to be another version of Skyrim, and
Right.
yeah, that's just where people's expectations were.
One thing
That's
I will say about that game, though, despite how much fun I had with it and how good I actually think it is, I never beat it. I made it to probably I think Act 3 or whatever because I remember there being this gigantic cutscene and I thought it was the end of the game and I find out that it opens up an entire new island to just like to go around and do stuff in and I was just like at that point I'd put so many hours into it already I was just kind of tired of it. So while it was really fun and I had a good time playing it, it did not keep my attention till the end. So I guess that would be kind of a negative point for it.
Yeah,
it. It certainly had its problems. Its NPCs would go on and on and on about shit that
Yeah.
you don't give a fuck about. And to P-Bird's point, coming right off of Skyrim, some of the storytelling I thought was just it was too different. So one of the joke that I always had about it back in the day was, if I remember right, there was a quest where there was like a guy sitting outside of a cave and he's like, "Oh, my buddy's in there. And he went in there with a bushel of apples, and I haven't seen him in days now." And it's just like, all right, I'll go in there, and if I can see your friend, and because we've been playing so much Skyrim, you kind of go in there and you expect to find a corpse
yeah.
or something. And I remember going into the cave, and here's this little cocksmoker sitting there eating apples. And I'm like, why don't you get out of this cave, you weirdo? And it just, the darkness or whatever wasn't there, the surprise. So I think that was another thing that it kind of suffered from. It had a lot to do with like fairies and that kind of thing. And you're totally right, Peter. Coming off of Skyrim, I think I was kind of like, man, I couldn't give one fuck less about fairies.
Yeah, I feel like I had misaligned expectations for that game. I remember buying it and not playing too much of it just because of the game I was hoping for and it not being it. So I'm part of the problem, James.
Well, I guess I am too because I never played it. I never played it to completion.
What a strange game too, because it was like, wasn't it that the lead developer was Kurt Schilling, who I'm pretty sure
Yes,
is
he's
like
a
an
baseball
old
player.
baseball player and
Uh-huh.
potentially maybe a racist? Is that what is that?
I don't. Maybe I don't know about the racist part. I can confirm the old baseball player.
I think,
We cannot confirm the end
yeah,
half of that.
and I hate to say that because everything's racist nowadays. But and I don't even know this,
Somebody
but I think that's
go
what my
find
boss
your
told
Chile.
me.
Present him with a picture of an African American.
See his reaction.
But then, the game was in hot water with like the state of Rhode Island, and it was supposed to be the beginning of this. Eventually, there was supposed to be a bunch of Amalar MMOs or something. Like it, what a strange like super recently, didn't they HD remake that thing?
They did, yeah, yeah. They called it the Re-Reckoning, I think.
That's cute.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Weird game.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Daniel Krupa of IGN UK gave Captain America Super Soldier a 5 out of 10. And I think that's bullshit.
The movie?
No, the video game.
Okay.
And I love Daniel Krupa. He and his buddies do this really funny Let's Play series of the Souls games called Prepare to Try.
Okay, yeah.
I've seen a
seen
few
that.
episodes of those.
Yeah, they're very, very good. And Krupa's super smart. I really like him. They're all really funny, and that's a really good series. But I certainly disagree with his review of the Super Soldier game, which I thought was kick ass. And I think I have like one trophy left to get the platinum.
Done.
Yes.
Good game.
Very cool. Yeah, so P-Bird, I don't know if that was the intended route you wanted that to go for your topic, but that's kind of that's the direction I took it in.
It's the way it goes.
AKA, fuck you, James.
What the fuck? We're about to have a conversation with the back of my hand, James.
Oh, what's it gonna tell me? Cool. But moving on, let's talk about the some of the best sitcom television out there, gentlemen, and the Michael Schur and Greg Daniels created TV shows. Namely, there are four big ones. There are obviously The Office, probably the most well known, followed by Parks and Rec. There is also The Good Place and Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So I don't know. I wanted to talk about those. I'm in the middle of Brooklyn Nine-Nine right now and quite enjoying it. It's really funny. I think we're close to the end of season 3. I'm watching it with my wife. We're having a good time. And I just kind of wanted to get your guys' opinions on them and see. I don't think we've all seen everything, and just kind of feel out what you guys think about it.
Is this the last one of his TV shows that you need to see out of the ones you mentioned?
So I've seen the other three, and I'm in the middle of Brooklyn Nine-Nine right now. Those are the only big four that I know of from these two guys and from Michael Schur in particular.
Okay. Yeah, we can focus on those. I was just wondering if you'd seen them all.
I'm working on it. We're working on Brooklyn Nine-Nine right now.
So Tiernan, I hear you're an ignorant slut and haven't seen all of these shows.
Yes, I've certainly seen a lot of The Office. I love The Office. I've seen a good amount of Parks and Rec, and I really do like it. I've seen a ton of the bloopers, which are some of the funniest outtakes
Yeah.
I've ever seen.
Absolutely.
And it's it's super well cast. I love Chris Pratt. I think Chris Pratt is just like this super, just naturally goofy, really funny, kind of big-hearted guy in real life, and it really comes through on screen and almost everything that he does. I mean, I've seen a handful of things where I'm like, he's a wee bit miscast and that kind of thing here, but I love Chris Pratt. I definitely love what's his name? Who's the mustache guy again?
Nick Offerman
Yeah,
plays
Nick
Ron
Offerman.
Swanson.
Even his stand up is hilarious. That character is just brilliant, like super,
So
super,
good.
super funny.
Well,
I
I'm
can't
gonna.
wait, and I can't wait to
I'm
be him.
Yes, well, speaking of Ron Swanson, and this is just kind of my own personal opinion here, but out of at least comedic television shows, because obviously it's a different category when you start talking about like dramas or something like that. But with comedic television shows, I personally, him and Charlie Kelly are my two personal favorite
Oh,
um, comedic TV characters like ever. Those two characters make me laugh harder than any other television character I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
that's I would have to think about that, but and I would have to familiarize myself with Arrested or not Arrested Development with shit.
That's a
What's it
good show
called
too.
again?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Parks and Recreation.
Parks and Rec. But Ron Swanson is definitely I would say already without even seeing the series in its entirety is way up there and Charlie Kelly is that's a really interesting observation. I love that, Jimmy. Like those are two super super awesome characters. I agree.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I
What
don't
about
know.
you, Pat? Which ones have you seen slash not seen?
I've seen The Office. I've seen Parks and Rec. I have not seen The Good Place, and I've seen some of Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
That seems to be a common theme. I think Brooklyn Nine-Nine seems to be like kind of like a I don't know, one of those things where like you catch it here and there sort of thing.
Yeah, I feel like Brooklyn Nine-Nine is somehow almost a remnant of like actual television. Because currently I don't even have cable. I just like watch streaming stuff. But I feel
Hmm.
like what I've seen of Brooklyn Nine-Nine has not been like an episodic rundown. It's just been kind of like random episodes.
So we've like I said, we've been watching it, my wife and I, and we're deep into season 3 right now. And for the most part, you are correct. I can't think of. I mean, there are overarching themes like character relationships and stuff like that that will have you know that are developing throughout the show and whatnot. I don't think quite as seriously as like a Jim and Pam, for example.
Gotcha.
That relationship took several seasons to develop into something that was like, they were finally together and it was a big moment for the show and stuff like that. I don't quite get that as much from Brooklyn Nine Nine, but there definitely is progression and character development and stuff like that.
Cool. Cool.
What is the good place?
So the good place,
Heaven.
kind of.
That's the truth.
So I don't want to get too much into it because I don't want to spoil things. The Good Place is a take on what the afterlife can be, or what it may be, something like that. So
Oh, so you weren't just trashing me for being semi-religious.
No,
I
no.
understand.
I mean, I was, but I was also right. Uh,
Either way, I don't want to get into too much of it. Other than that, it's a nice quick it's a quick series. It's only 4 seasons long, and it doesn't take a whole lot of time to get through them, and
is
they're
is
good.
her bit is the deal that she's not supposed to be there? She was not supposed to go to
Yes,
heaven.
yes. So and yes, but again, I don't want to go too much into details for spoilers' sakes.
That's
But
gonna be
yes, that's
me, Tiernan. That's gonna be me chilling in heaven. You're gonna
Yeah,
see
but
me, and it's just gonna be like, what the fuck are you doing here?
yeah, dog,
why.
I'm totally gonna rat on you, man. I'm gonna be like, this prick is not supposed to be here. Who do I talk to about this?
Yeah, that is.
Jesus.
Where
Yeah,
is
man. Peter's not doing his job. Hey, Peter, why'd you let this fucking?
it? One thing I kind of like about that one is just kind of I don't know, the general ideas of it are kind of fun to think about, and what, because it's not a traditional like heaven and hell storyline, but there are definitely parallels, obviously. So it's interesting. It goes very much off the rails towards in season 4 things get super crazy, but it's fun, and they're able to be more creative than they've been in the past because it's not based in reality. It's based in the afterlife. So it's just an interesting take on that type of a show, and it's not on the level of Parks and Rec and Office, like by far. It in my opinion anyway. I'm sure there's probably some people out there that would disagree with me, but The Good Place, from my own experience with them, has nothing on those other two shows. It's still really good, but not nearly as good.
Where can I view it?
Yeah, where are you watching these, James?
That's a good question. I feel like, because I watched The Good Place probably over a year ago at this point. It was a while back. I think maybe it was on Netflix at that time. Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah, because I want to say The Office is no longer on Netflix.
Well, they have, is it NBC?
I think it's NBC.
Maybe it's NBC. I probably should have researched that first. But they have their own streaming service now called Peacock.
Peacock.
Yeah. And we do have cable over here. We have Xfinity, and if you have Xfinity, you get Peacock for free. So that's where I've been watching all their shows. Like, they've got The Office, they've got Parks and Rec, they've got they got all 4 of them, since they're all on the same network.
Okay,
but
yeah, that makes sense.
I forget where I watched it the first time. I think actually, you know what? I think we were actually recording them. I'm pretty sure we were recording them as they came out, or maybe as they were like reruns or something, as they were going back through the show or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, I can respect that.
Yeah, that's pretty old school, dude. I like that you guys still have cable and you guys still like DVR stuff. I haven't done that since I lived with my mom.
Yeah, Kyla is big into that. I don't do that for any of my own shows, because I'm more, if it were up to me and me alone, I'd be with P-Bird. I would just be streaming stuff. That's pretty much when I'm watching things on my own. That's where I get my entertainment. But Kyla has her own TV shows that she super enjoys and stuff like that. So we have a cable box and a package deal and whatnot. But it has its own perks.
Living the high life.
Yeah.
Feeling good.
I feel like you guys should stop wasting time and get on Amazon Prime and watch a documentary called The Phoenix Lights. It's all about UFOs over Phoenix, Arizona, and it's real. It's real, I tell you.
Oh, boy.
Well, speaking of Prime, my brother has Amazon Prime, and he's got an account, and I've been trying to get his goddamn password for months, and I can't get it.
He won't give it to you?
He doesn't remember it.
Oh, of course.
That's so spectacular.
It is the worst. My brother has the worst memory of almost pretty much anybody I know.
Yeah, seriously.
It's awful.
Yeah, Amazon Prime is really interesting, right? It's maybe the streaming service that I watch the most because it's got, and I'm having a really hard time canceling it because, so my wife and I made like kind of one of our New Year's resolutions was to like really try and shop local, spend money local, don't go on Amazon a whole lot, and just make sure that the little guy is getting as much money, as much of your money as you can, even if you have to spend a little bit more. And so we've canceled some of our streaming services and, put that money elsewhere. Amazon, I'm having a really hard time with because they have such an eclectic collection of bullshit on their, so like there's all these like super schlocky B and C and D horror movies. There's all these, I mean, I am completely addicted to like alien documentaries and this kind of thing, and they have like the weirdest kind of thing. I think I already told you guys, but there's like, they'll just get like some rube who had a run-in with aliens one time, and they'll sit him in front of like they'll sit him down in a chair and talk to him for 2 hours. They don't even cut. They don't even make cuts. It's literally just like some weird dude talking into the camera for 2 hours. And I'm like, dude, I am on board for this. I'm going to pour myself a bowl of cereal. Like, this is amazing. So like,
this is the highest form of entertainment.
Yeah. They've got they've got really, really interesting, very strange things on Amazon Prime. It's like where all the crazy bullshit goes. And so yeah, you can definitely find uh, and really weird ass like fucking hilarious Alex Jones documentaries. You know, you really shouldn't be taking him very seriously, but goddamn, they're
People
on there.
do.
And yeah, people they certainly do. He used to be. He's actually getting back to where he used to be. Like I don't listen to very much of it, but I saw something the other day, and it seems like he's back to kind of like having some fun and being a goofball instead of like corrupting people. So
You're right. He got like shut down, didn't he? People were like
oh yeah,
turning him
dude,
off
he's like the
of.
most well, and I'm all for free speech, but it's also like one of these things where like he said some really stupid, insensitive shit where like, before I was like Alex Jones is fun, and then I was like, "Oh, wow, dude, that's like borderline evil." Get the fuck out of here with that. So, I don't know. I don't know. I don't follow him on any of his stuff, but there are Alex Jones documentaries on Amazon Prime, and it's they're sometimes they can be kind of fun just to be like, oh yeah, the Illuminati, they're a bunch of dickheads.
I've seen edited videos of Alex Jones, and they are always so fucking funny.
Oh my god, dude, he's an absolute maniac. I just so go back and forth on the guy, but he's like, what are you talking about? The ones where he's like tearing his shirt off and he's talking about being a
Yeah.
man. Yeah, 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 pretty
Oh
funny.
goddamn. So James, if you
Yeah.
were gonna rank these four series, how would you rank them?
So my personal rankings, it's difficult to rank Brooklyn Nine-Nine because I'm still in the middle of it. So I don't necessarily want to put that one up there just yet, but I will. Fuck it. My personal rankings right now would be, and this actually maybe not present company excluded. This actually might be a little bit controversial just based off of the hype around it, but The Office is not my first pick. My first pick is easily without a whole lot of thought involved in it either. Parks and Recreation is a gut reaction, and
Well
I
played, James.
super
Let's get
love
an
that show.
applause for James.
Do we have sound effects?
I fucking need to find sound effects, but I can't add sound effects.
All right.
So for
Pause
next time,
for
audience, there will be clapping.
But Parks and Rec is super, super, potentially one of my favorite shows of all time. It's way up there for me. I love that show, and I love The Office too. The Office is fantastic. I think The Office has, and The Office is number two in my book for the list of four that we have here, and then number three as of right now um, would be The Good Place because I've finished it, I've watched it to the end, and then Brooklyn Nine-Nine has the potential to be better than The Good Place, I think. But as for right now, I'm putting it at the bottom just because I haven't finished it yet. But with Parks and Rec, I mean, I remember watching that one. I first discovered it. I was living in St. Charles still, and I was still living at home, and I was just it wasn't Kyle and I weren't dating yet. I was just by myself in my room watching that show and just couldn't stop laughing. And it's rare to find shows that like that where you don't just get like a little chuckle out of it, but you actually start belly laughing and stuff like that. And then I remember showing it. Kyla had never seen it, so early on in our relationship, we kind of bonded over this show a little bit. And she, at first she was just like, "What the hell is wrong with this Ron Swanson character? He's so mean all the time." and, and after a couple of episodes, she was also just hooked on the show. And she and I have gone through it twice now, and I'm sure we'll go through it several more times in our lives together.
Nice,
But
nice.
I don't know. The Office. The reason I don't put The Office in front of Parks and Rec, I think first of all, The Office season one is very hard to watch, and I know that's an unfair,
It's rough.
not
No,
unfair.
that's a fair
It's
statement.
Yeah, it's so much more like the British show, and I'm not a huge fan of that really hardcore cringe humor that makes me uncomfortable. And I know that's the point of it, but it's not for me so much as season two of The Office and onward. And I'll also say that with The Office, I am not afraid to admit this at all. I cried so hard at the Goodbye Michael episode. Holy crap.
Yeah.
That was one of the most emotional episodes of television I can remember. And but but after that episode and after the last two seasons of The Office are also kind of just okay in my opinion. They're
Yeah, it's
not.
super rough when you just
Yeah,
lose Mike. You lose like the kingpin of that series.
yeah, you lose the heart of that show, and it's just not as good. It does have some really really funny things in there. I think one of the hardest I've ever laughed at The Office was it was a cold open and Kevin, or no, so they're all in the parking lot. It's that one where there's the trapped dog in the car and they wind up breaking the windshield. I don't know if you guys remember this one, but Kevin, it's so funny. He says, "Okay, listen, I'm gonna go sit in my car. If you hear if I start to die, I'll hog the horn 3 times." And then you kind of just forget about him for a minute while the other characters are doing their thing, and they eventually break the window and save the dog, and they tape it back up. But at the end of this whole thing, before it cuts to like the music or commercial or whatever it is, Kevin starts honking the horn. It goes, and it's and he's passed out on his steering wheel. That is legitimately one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. And that happens in like season 8, maybe, I think. So there are definitely some good points in the last two seasons, but I think season 1 and season 7 season 8 and 9 are just kind of not great. And I don't know. Parks and Rec is my favorite by far.
Okay. I can respect that. I feel like my ranking is Parks and Rec, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, The Office, and then I've never seen The Good Place.
So you're not even that. So would you consider yourself a fan of The Office?
I like The Office, but like you said, there's just a couple of seasons that notably just aren't as good. But I think Parks and Rec is really, really good. I think all the actors are really well cast. I think they're all just really good actors. And then
Mm-hmm.
I really like the cast of Brooklyn Nine-Nine as well.
I do too. Yeah, as I'm watching, I like it a lot more. The guy that plays Boyle, I think his name is John Trifulio or something like that. Oh, I'm blank. It's something like that. I feel bad I can't remember it, but that guy is hysterical. I love Boyle's character so much. He is very very funny.
He's great.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Tiernan, do you have a ranking?
Bears beats Battlestar Galactica.
What are you doing?
I've got to go with The Office. It's the one that I've seen the most. Yeah, The Office can be pretty cringy, and I'm not a huge fan of cringe. But still, like it's hilarious. It's heartwarming. I think it's cast well. I've seen it more than I've seen any of the other ones. Even though I think I might like the cast of. God, why do I keep wanting to say Arrested Development?
Parks and Recreation.
Parks and Recreation. I like that cast more. So I'll go The Office. Then I'll go Parks, and I've seen a little bit of Brooklyn Nine. I think I've seen like the first 2 seasons. It's enjoyable, but it is very it certainly harkens back to just kind of regular TV. It also has a great cast, and it's funny, but it just wasn't for me. Eventually, I just kind of gave up on it, and I haven't seen the other ones. So yeah, that's my ranking, and The Office for sure. The Office is the other thing that I like about The Office is it's one of those things that I kind of like put on in the background, just something that I'm super familiar with, kind of like Seinfeld or, I just kind of like to have it on in the back. So yeah, that's my ranking.
That's that's actually a really good point. And I do the same with Parks and Rec, but they play The Office so much on Comedy Central that oftentimes as I'll just put it on, like you said, just to kind of have it on in the background while I'm like making breakfast or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, that was kind of all I wanted to talk about for the day.
All right, excellent. Good topic, James. Good topic.
Thank you. So, fellas, go.
Wait. The dude who wrote these, is he plays someone in The Office, right?
Yeah, he is Mose. He is Dwight's cousin or brother, or I think they're cousins, right?
He's the crazy
Oh.
one, right?
Yeah, that's Michael Schur. He's very very funny and insane. Yes, he's very crazy in The Office as well.
All right, excellent.
Hmm.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Well, and there's the famous, going back to Parks and Rec. There's the famous, and this has been in plenty of interviews, but there's the Andy Dwyer line that Michael Schur absolutely despises Chris Pratt over because it's the funniest things he's ever heard. But he's angry that he didn't come up with it himself, even though he's the writer for the show or one of the writers on the show. And it's an episode where Leslie's feeling sick, and Andy puts her symptoms into the computer, and it says, Leslie, you might have network connectivity problems. And
God damn it, that is good.
for whatever reason, that's Michael Schur's favorite joke ever, and Chris Pratt improvised that line.
Damn.
I did see that. That's very funny. One of the funniest things about that show is when you're watching the outtakes and the bloopers, how
Hmm.
much Chris Pratt makes everyone else laugh.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
how dirty he is.
yeah, man. He's talking about wiping his butt, and he's talking about he's
It's a
talking about it
marker.
like trying to wipe a marker.
Did you see the one with the ice cream cone?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
fucking ice cream cone.
My favorite one is when
Uh,
Leslie Knope is trying to like get his attention, and his
Yes.
attention just so funny, man. Chris Pratt, dude, and like, dude, he cracks Nick Offerman up, and Nick Offerman's got that super funny like giggle laugh,
Yep.
and obviously Offerman is just 100% there for fart jokes. Anytime
Uh-huh.
Chris Pratt makes a fart joke, like
Yep.
Offerman is breaking character, and it's just the funniest shit ever.
Oh god damn.
Oh my god.
Love
Gonna
it.
have to
And don't
watch
get me wrong,
Parks and Rec.
the Office bloopers are also hilarious. They're very funny. But
Yes,
God, those Parks and Rec bloopers are way up. Seinfeld probably has the best bloopers of any sitcom I can think of.
maybe, yeah.
Maybe I love I think my favorite part is just how mad Kramer gets. I think
Right.
I think watching that guy just get pissed off at everybody because he's doing comedy gold and they can't hold it together.
Yeah, and
is,
I one of my favorite things is how like delightfully funny what Elaine, what's the woman who plays Elaine? I can't
Julia
remember her name.
Louis-Dreyfus.
There you go. Like how goofy and irreverent and super funny she is in real life. I love her, and she's got this super pretty smile and all that kind of thing. Although back to The Office real fast, one of my favorite bloopers is one of the late series one, and it's what is that tall skinny nerd guy who replaces what is it?
What's his name? Damn it! I know exactly who you're talking about. The real pale guy, right?
Yeah.
Oh god, he's in Silicon Valley. Shoot, what is his
Yes.
name?
He has, because he's like just does like incredible improv.
Yeah.
And he's just fucking rattling off a bunch of jokes at Jim and Dwight in the kitchen at one point.
Is it
And
where they're talking about working out?
Yeah.
Yes.
It is fucking hysterical, dude. Hysterical.
Yeah, he just keeps it together throughout the entire thing. They're falling apart.
Yeah.
Well, and that guy is again kind of like Kramer from Seinfeld. That dude is really good at not breaking and making other people laugh.
Right.
Oh my god, so funny.
I'm gonna go look that up.
We all want to watch. I think we all just want to go watch bloopers right now. Holy shit! And then just as a kind of an offshoot little topic, speaking of sitcoms, have you guys ever seen Veep?
I have seen some of Veep, yeah.
I've watched a little bit of it. It's something that I really want to get into because I hear it gets like incredibly raunchy
Oh
and
my God, yes. So I've watched it. It was before we started watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That was one of the last shows we watched, and it's incredibly raunchy from the beginning, but it just gets crazier and crazier. Um, Definitely recommend Veep. Veep is very, very funny.
okay. Yeah, I will. Sometimes and dude, this is the problem with like politics, right? Where it's just like if you don't like someone's politics on TV, then it gets in the way of you kind of like laughing at their jokes, or whatever. And it's just like, dude, we got to get away from all that shit. Like I find myself falling into that sometimes where it's just like if I know some Hollywood person's politics don't align with mine, sometimes it sullies what I think of their performances, and I need to get up, get the stick out of my ass, and fucking get on that shit because Veep is right up my alley. And
Yeah, you would really like Veep.
That's good.
yeah, cool.
Cool. All right, gentlemen. Well, unless there's anything else y'all want to talk about, I think that's gonna be the day for us.
Mm.
Excellent. Excellent.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in to Cantina Radio. My name is James, and we got P Bird and Tiernan signing off.
Bye.
See ya.
All right, gentlemen.